Oh boy, physical rewards. You know what? Physical games also go hand in hand with these. So back in 2020, September 8th, that great year, Nintendo released physical rewards for My Nintendo. And not that many. Yeah, you might remember Club Nintendo, everyone's favorite free website that you could simply, for buying Nintendo games, you could input a code or something, and you could get, free rewards and stuff like that. Free shipping, technically. Yeah, that unfortunately shut down, and people, they liked the rewards from there, but Nintendo, they answered your prayers with My Nintendo Rewards, and I have almost every first reward that released, at least here in North America. Yeah, it was interesting because they released Xenoblade and I think Splatoon 2. There's like a postcard say. I don't know what it is with Nintendo. They love stickers and postcards. You're going to notice this is a common trend with My Nintendo Rewards. But this is a Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition key ring holder. And I never did get to figure this out how this works, but it looks like there's instructions there, so that's kind of neat. The Monado. For Shulk. I was pretty big into Xenoblade at the time, and I thought, well, that's pretty freaking neat. And then there's a sticker set as well, which, I'll be honest, I have so many freaking stickers that I don't know what to do with, not even half of them. I think there was a certain point in my life where I just kind of stopped. If you've seen my DSi, I'd put stickers on there, but it's I got so many stickers. I've probably got 10 years worth of just stickers just laying around, and it's I tried using them at one point, I just stopped, and it's well, I guess this is what they're gonna stay. Maybe I'll sell them off for $2 on eBay sometime, but no, I'd never do that. But yeah, Nintendo did that, and they eventually released more rewards, and I didn't really do a whole lot with them because I got this Animal Crossing. I believe this is the Dodo. I don't remember what this was because I didn't play a whole lot of New Horizons, Dodo, whatever. Correct me in the comments if you want. Bag. I never opened this because it was meant for a gift for someone. That's kind of interesting. A lot of this My Nintendo stuff technically could be made as gifts, because what is interesting is, unlike Club Nintendo, they charge you money for shipping. But if you add on stuff from the actual Nintendo store, you can, I think it was $50 or something, at least right now, get free shipping. So, you might get these 2 items, sure, they might only cost you, platinum points, for example, to be able to get. But, which those are nothing. Even easier to get than Club Nintendo stuff. But then it costs money for shipping. And I gotta say something, even though it costs money for shipping, you really do get what you pay for. When I would order stuff from Club Nintendo, it would take weeks to even get here. But then with My Nintendo, recently I got something from them. It was here in a day. It was warning me about it might not be here in a little while if you don't order by this specific date. I ordered a day after that day and it got here in a day. That might be the best shipping ever. Now, granted, this shipping, it varies. I think the cheapest is about $8, and that's usually what I end up paying because I don't want to spend money for stuff that's supposed to be free. So the smart thing to do is, not technically buy stuff, which I did the first time I got some stuff. I don't remember everything else I got, but this is one of the items I happened to get. But I've never done that besides then. But generally the smart thing is to, get a bunch of items all added together and stuff. All kind of items in there. But, as time went on, Nintendo technically, they really released about 1 item a month. And it was really kind of game dedicated to what's happening right now. Xenoblade Definitive Edition was happening at the time. Granted, I was 4 months late or something. And then there's New Horizons. But there really wasn't a whole lot of interesting stuff that came out for too much longer. There was some... other things that, it's interesting because a lot of the rewards on My Nintendo right now, you can't really, get them. There's, I think over 100 rewards has been released. And this is a reward that was, released for, 2021, a little after that Dodo bag I showed you. And this is, it's an interesting concept. It's a book for, toddlers / babies. For you to go on a journey with Mario. Yeah, that's right. Get them while they're young so they can get a Nintendo, and they'll grow up with the Switch 5, and they'll be only spending money on Nintendo stuff. But what characters in the Super Mario Bros. Series is the smartest? Why? It's interesting because a lot of this stuff is just kind of your own questions and answers and stuff like that. But it's a 3-year journey. Personally, you probably could just use this for yourself, but it's meant for a kid or something. Well, even younger than that, as I said, but it's kind of neat. It's got one of these little bookmarks. I think it's a pretty high quality thing. So much so that it says, well, actually it doesn't say it right here on the packaging. cancer and reproductive harm. Yeah, I didn't think we'd be mentioning about that in this video. But, you know, there wasn't anything too crazy when it came to this. I kind of was slacking when it came to my Nintendo stuff for a little while, like about a year. But then, when I saw something, like, really crazy and out there. Earthbound. Yeah, when does Nintendo make merchandise for Earthbound, besides for Amiibos? Like, that's the one exception. This is insane. No mention, like, this is the game that originally never released in North America. Like, it was supposed to, but it didn't until 2015, and then they did this to celebrate the Nintendo Switch Online release. You know, being the 8 melodies from Earthbound Beginnings, or Mother 1 as it's called there. And you know I had to get that. Like, there was another thing that released too. There was this luggage tag, the Saturn Phase Disorder from, you know, the second Earthbound game, just simply called Earthbound for us. I honestly was debating on using this because, well, I never had a luggage tag, but or a proper one, but I don't know, why would I do that when this is kind of a piece of history? But you might notice I have used some of my Nintendo stuff, just because I believe that games are meant to be used, but I'm sure people aren't going to like that. But as you can see here, this stuff's clothes never been used, it's never been opened, it's never been, you know, used at all. I knew a friend who, like, ordered these, and they actually sent him 2 of these notebooks, because you're only supposed to be able to get 1 item, so I think that's kind of funny if they did that. So I guess it's kind of neat that he has an extra, because then he could, like, I don't know, use it if he really wanted to. But this is kind of too precious. Like, Earthbound stuff, like, you see the collectors out there when it comes to merchandise, this stuff is sacred. I don't think I should be like opening this stuff with a 1,000-foot pole. And I'm pretty glad I got this, because you cannot get this stuff. You cannot get this stuff anymore. So I'm really happy I have some Earthbound merch. But on the bright side, if you want to still get some more My Nintendo stuff, well, don't worry. They sure got a heck of a lot still available right now. Yeah, like, this is kind of just miscellaneous stuff I'll just go over, like, really quick. Like, there's some more important in-depth stuff I'll talk about. But what is interesting, I do think something I recommend for people, because they probably will eventually, you know, get rid of these, because, well, the golden points, they're basically axed. Like, you can't earn them anymore. And it's crazy because I just finally got one of those chances to be able to go to a Nintendo event, and I was able to get these in person. You know, claim these gold points, get them in person for buying something. I'm like, well, I'm glad at least I was able to do that, but it didn't, you know, now it's kind of too late. But I'm saying to get these because they're currently, as of recording this, you can get these on the store, and these are metal. These are kind of neat. That's kind of cool. I didn't even realize there's a gold pin for that one, so that fits even better. But as you know, since gold points are gone, these are kind of obsolete, and once these are gone, I don't think Nintendo's going to be reprinting them. Maybe they could release a standalone one with the platinum point, but yeah, I don't know. My Nintendo just kind of feels like it's certainly starting to go away on the wayside. Like, there really isn't a huge reason to do this. Keep it going. Like, the apps have been slowly disappearing. It's pretty easy to get platinum points if you're looking for some. Literally just download Fire Emblem Heroes and be mindless for a few hours, and there you go. You got a bunch of platinum points. But yeah, there's all sorts of cool obscure things. You know, like, as I said, postcards. Either some classic game postcards right here. You know, Mario Party 2. That's pretty freaking neat. These are kind of thick. These are nice feeling. I love the classic games. And of course, even though I was able to get my Nintendo, like the Earthbound stuff, there is certainly some rewards I miss and I was not able to get. Such as posters from Mario 3D All-Stars. And yeah, there was also a pin set you could have gotten as well. 2 pin sets. And the website exploded. And no one was able to really get those, except for, you know, very select few people. And I don't know. I really like posters, like when it came to Club Nintendo. Like, I'm pretty sure I got like most of their posters. But I've only ever gotten 1 poster. That's the Bravely Default 2 poster. I don't care about that series. I only care about Nintendo. Okay, I only care about Nintendo. So that's such a weird thing. Yeah, there's some pretty out there merchandise that's also on there. Like, there's like a DC sports bag or something like that, because I guess Nintendo published, you know, that game. So that's kind of neat, I guess. I kind of was almost going to get that because it's like one of the few non-Nintendo things on there. But it's like, I don't know. You know, you're getting for Nintendo stuff. And there's like there's a towel as well for Switch Sports. Like, this I'm talking about obscure stuff. It's like, when are we going to see merchandise for Nintendo Sports Series? Well, now you are. So that's pretty freaking cool. Also, who remembers when My Nintendo had like a code system where you had to input a code and to be able to get the reward? I remember getting like screwed over because like you got a code for, you know, claiming it with your platinum points, and you put that in, And the thing is, Nintendo generated usually more codes than there actually was actual physical rewards. So I got a code for like this Skyward Sword acrylic stand, which, by the way, who would even get that? And it just seems like terrible. I'm sorry to people who like, and not the fact that I'm talking about the game, I'm talking about like an acrylic standee, you know? You get that, and I remember I put that code in, it's like, oh, it's out of stock. So I'm just like, wait a second. I just wasted my platinum points, granted they're free, to get this, and now I can't even get that. Well, I probably would have wasted even more stuff if I bought for the free shipping, because I don't even know what else I would have gotten. So that's the kind of the thing is, like, later on with my Nintendo, like, there really wasn't a whole bunch of interesting stuff. Maybe they're, like, looking back, like, at, like, the history, comprehensive list of things are, like, posters, Metroid Dread stuff, like, holographic things. That stuff's pretty freaking cool, but that stuff's out of stock, and I don't know if they're ever restocked it. They have restocked a few things, but it's like, I don't know. You know, Luigi's Mansion 2. I still call this Dark Moon. This is a pretty freaking cool keychain, to say the least. I also have a Kirby Dream Buffet thing that I had. I don't see it in front of me right now because I think I misplaced it, but you know what? Maybe I'll find that eventually. It's pretty freaking cool. We got some WarioWare Move It magnets. That's pretty freaking cool. You know, some Wario. I love me some Wario stuff. That's awesome. We got a license holder, just a card holder for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I mean, if you really wanted to separate this, use a different, like, lanyard. You know, so let's say I wanted to represent Eon Gaming, I could use that lanyard instead of this Mario Kart one, because I'll be honest, I'm not a huge Mario Kart 8 fan. Let's see how World is, but this is kind of neat. You know, there's some pretty obscure merchandise right there. Oh man, Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. You know, it's funny, I got this for the sake of being able to use like some more notepad, but this is freaking tiny. Like, I should have got the Fire Emblem 3 Hopes, you know, the Warriors game instead, because that probably was a little bit bigger. You know what? I needed some kind of notepad, I guess, so I guess I'll use this. It's kind of funny as well, because this is a newer reward. This is Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D sticky notes. And I do wonder how, like, the quality of these will be. I always like these small little palettes. They're pretty funny looking. But I needed literally sticky notes, and I don't know, it's like, I wouldn't say like a lot of the stuff is the highest of quality for my Nintendo. Like, it's kind of hit or miss. Like, I'd say, like, when it comes to, you know, like those keychains, like, these are high quality. Like, if I had that Kirby one in front of me, I would show. I don't know what happened to it. I literally just had it, and I think I misplaced it, so whatever. But these are most of nearly all my Nintendo rewards. I probably have about a quarter of them. But I'd say these are pretty freaking high quality. However, I cannot say the same for this. So, I love the artwork of Super Mario Strikers, or just the Mario soccer games in general. Like, it is awesome. Like, this is like a poster. Like, I hang these kind of bags on my wall. Like, I love drawstring bags. Like, this should go into a museum. The Mario art, like, style for the Mario soccer games. Or football, I guess, if you're from Europe. But I cannot say the same for the quality of this bag. I love drawstring bags, and I've had a few stinkers, but this one is the biggest stinker I've ever had. And I have used this for a total of 5 minutes, and it started ripping. And as you can see here, the, like, string just completely fell out of this side over here. It didn't for this one. And it's like, what the heck? Like, this stuff clearly is not high quality, some of this stuff, so it's definitely hit or miss. And it's like, yeah, you get what you pay for. This stuff is technically free, and I guess you could say the My Nintendo stuff is as well. But you're paying for shipping here, so it's like, I do not recommend this bag whatsoever. I can still technically hang it on my wall, you know, because it's like artwork and it looks kind of neat. But it's like, that's just pretty disappointing to see that's the case. Like, I guess it's to be fair, because this really is like probably the flimsiest material I've ever seen for like a drawstring bag. But what offends me the most about this is, there's no Wario on here. There's Waluigi, but I'd say mine are Club Nintendo. Like, for example, look at this Pikmin 2 tote bag right here. I'm pretty sure this was made to promote Pikmin 2. Like, yeah, it looks pretty low quality. Like, it's nothing crazy. It's like, and you can barely see it. It's like Pikmin tote. Attack, multiply, become snacks. Who wrote that? Like an AI or something? Like, I don't know, but you can tell it's like Pikmin 2S because we only have like the purple Pikmin, white Pikmin on there. And it is like Club Nintendo, but you know, this bag, I've used this for years. I don't think I'll be using it anytime soon because it's literally a relic. But you can pretty much see it's still hanging in there. Like, both sides, and maybe this is a little tethered, but it's like, you know, it's still sturdy. It's still great. This is a great bag. I'd say Club Nintendo was a little bit more higher quality than my Nintendo, so I don't know what's going on there, but alright then. So that's certainly unfortunate. But I guess like one of the last things, the most recent thing. This is pretty interesting. It's going to make a lot of people kind of go, especially those scalpers, those collectors, go crazy out there. And because I'm one of the few people who has this. This My Nintendo Retro Calendar for 2025. Yeah, Nintendo released this retro calendar like at the end of last year. They also released like one for like standard stuff, and it was strange because it just kind of disappeared randomly. I didn't even notice this, even though I literally opened it. This is a really cool calendar, I got to say. Like, I love retro game, like Nintendo games. You know, the Game Boy. You know, we've got Game Boy Advance and Metroid Zero Mission. You know, we've got an overview one right there. Apologies, they're out of order, but whatever. F-Zero X, that's a solid, really good game. Star Fox, you know, not as crazy. We got the original Super Mario Bros. You know, we got Super Punch-Out, or just Punch-Out, I should say. You know, Yoshi's Island, that's an amazing game. Majora's Mask, that's awesome. We got Mario Kart Super Circuit. That's a strange one, to say the least. I don't know why they keep picking that to represent. Because I'd say that's probably some people's least favorite games. Check this out. We got Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past, plus 4 swords. I love 4 swords. Heck yeah, heck yeah. We got Versus Excite Bike for December. That is a very obscure game, and it's weird because it shows NES, because, like, technically, yeah, it is NES, but it's like, this is Famicom Disk System, something we didn't even get. It is on the NES Online right now, but it's like, that's weird. And then finally, this is the game that started it all for me. This is actually my first game ever. So this was awesome to see merchandise of Super Mario Land 2, a very obscure game made by Gunpei Yokoi, father of the Game Boy. Now, if you're wondering, why do I have 2 of these and why is this one sealed? Well, Nintendo made a mistake, and they actually accidentally printed this one here, from what I can see, wrong. As you can see here, the last date of September, or really the calendar in general, is just screwed up for this year. And Nintendo, they fixed this and sent out envelopes to everyone who got this. And that's awesome that they did that, because then, well, they fixed their mistake. And I thought that, like, this is like such a limited time thing that, like, I thought I, like, you know, just barely got it in time. But no, they ended up releasing a new version of this calendar, which has this. But I've got the one with the defect right here, so that probably makes it more valuable. But then again, who cares? This is my Nintendo stuff. It's kind of garbage and not that great. And, you know, I'll give, you know, a bit of a shout out to these controllers. I didn't get these recently. Technically, these aren't my Nintendo. This is like, I don't know. Like I said before, you can get my Nintendo stuff, but then you can buy things on the Nintendo shop to combine with this to, you know, save money. For technically, they kind of go hand in hand, but in order to get this stuff, you need to be able to buy Nintendo. I don't know. Okay. But I'll be honest, I'm not a huge fan of these controllers, especially, so these are definitely novelty items. Like, yeah, it's cool that they work. This here, of course, is the Famicom controllers. You can only get these in Japan. But, like, at the same time, like, I've used these, and I know someone else who had said there's input lag with the NES ones, and I tried these out, and I noticed, like, why am I doing so bad at this game? There's definitely some form of input lag in here. Like, I don't know what it is. I might make an entire video talking about these in general, because there is definitely some sort of input lag. And maybe it's just because I'm not used to using like a Famicom controller or something, but it's like whatever. And this is the Player 2 controller, because what's cool about this is like it's got an actual microphone, so you can speak into this. I think you can use this on the My Nintendo app. You know, the Player 1 controller is a little, you know, it's besides start and select, you know, it's got that, but it's a little boring. And honestly, you know, like I said, these are novelty items. Like, these are not, you cannot really use these for Switch games very well. You can use them for things like Game Boy Line, Game Boy Advance Line, because, you know, these games, they do at least have, like, you know, L and R buttons and A and B, so that they work great. But there's no home button. They do home button in, like, you know, the NES app by pressing a certain button combination along with capture button. But besides that, like, you know, besides these being like a novelty, like, oh, look, guys, you know, I donated to this certain Minecraft server, and I'm so cool, I'm so privileged. That's literally what it is. It doesn't give you an advantage. It probably gives you a disadvantage because of the input lag. But, you know, I got these ones, not the NES ones, because they were cheaper. The opportunity I was able to get them in. And, you know, it's got the microphone, which you can use to kill or Pole's voice in Zelda, along with do haggling in the original Kid Icarus. So that's kind of neat. But I don't think I'd get these. I kind of want to get the Super Nintendo one because it has more buttons. I think it has a home button and a capture button, along with, of course, the X and Y button. So obviously you can use this in a lot more stuff, but it certainly is a darn shame that there's input lag. I didn't even attempt to get the GameCube one because it's like GameCube adapter. I do wonder if that's going to work on Switch too. Someone can probably tell me in the comments that's confirmed or not, but I would sure hope it would work. But you know what? That'd be a very Nintendo thing for them to not make that work. The GameCube adapter for the Wii U on Switch too. You know, they'll make you buy the freaking GameCube controller with all the shipping and stuff for nearly $100. But you know what? Technically, it's like a new Wavebird, so I guess we'll go with that. But hopefully there's not input lag with that, but I kind of doubt it because it seems like it's similar technology. Alright, so really quick, I did want to go over these rewards. I got these from an in-person event for Nintendo, and these aren't technically my Nintendo rewards, but I'd say they're pretty freaking similar because looking at some of these, look at this, it frickin' says cancer and reproductive harm once again. And I happen to look at the sticky notes that I got from my Nintendo. Look at that, cancer and reproductive harm. Oh hey, look at this notepad for Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door, cancer and reproductive harm. So I think it's a pretty serious issue, cancer. I don't think I'd be talking about that a ton in this video, but yeah, I'd say they're made by the same company that makes My Nintendo stuff. We're going to consider this stuff exclusive My Nintendo stuff you could have only gotten in an event. First off, there's this pencil pouch that really does look like pencil pouches. Like there was like a Kirby one, I remember. I think a Mario one as well, but I don't think you can get either of them anymore. But yeah, there's this Worlds of Fun on Nintendo Switch. You got an OLED model there, and you got the common first party IPs. I guess Splatoon's a little bit newer, but you know, you got Mario Kart representation there. Pokemon's not actually a first party, since they're saying how there's no Kirby. Well, there is Kirby stuff, but so inside, and I put this in there. There was some other stuff that I got as well that wasn't actually like, you know, really a whole lot there. But we have some character eraser sets, and that's kind of neat. I always like me some. Well, these aren't actually toppers, but they're just simply erasers, so that's kind of neat. I believe these are sticky notes. Yeah, it also says, yeah, promotional use only, not for resale. Interesting. We got Princess Daisy. That's kind of rare to see Princess Daisy. And then we got some character cards. I believe I've had 2 sets of these, but you know what? We'll just open this one up for the sake of showing what's in there. And these IPs, I wouldn't say they're like the crazies. Like, you know, we got Mario there. You know, these are just literally cards to show off. All-around good guy. Mario's a jack of all trades. I didn't think he was necessarily that. Fans across the world celebrate Mario 10 Day and, you know, Mario 10. And they're showing all the common, you know, Nintendo Switch games. So these are really just like promotional materials here to advertise to you. Man, where's Super Princess Peach? Come on, bring that. I know it's entirely possible to put, you know, DS games on the Switch. Like we've seen Capcom do it with Mega Man, you know, ZX and stuff like that, and Castlevania Collection. And you've got games that Bowser's in, you know, we've got Link, games that Link is in, we've got Pikmin, and it's crazy because, like, you can play every single Pikmin game on Switch. That's awesome, considering this is a very under-the-radar franchise that isn't sold as good. Then we got Pokemon, you know, they're advertising all the Pokemon stuff. Funny, because there really has been a ton of Pokemon. It's kind of slowed down recently. There will be, if it's not delayed anyways, Legend ZA. I am looking forward to that because more X and Y representation. We got Tom Nook. You know, I always love this guy, what he says, yes, yes. Like, I remember I quoted someone of that a while ago because I thought they were like Tom Nook, so that's kind of funny. You know, Isabelle has a twin brother named Digby. And you got this really flimsy piece, so, yeah, no Splatoon representation. You know, there's some Pokemon representation. Then you got some stickers in here. I've already opened these before. I'm not going to open them again. There's, like, you can kind of see in there, interestingly enough, Nintendo Switch Sports. So that's kind of why I'm saying there's another connection here, because there, you know, there's literally, we saw the Switch Sports cooling tower there, and I think you got Timmy and Tommy. There's a Kirby sticker in there, and there's a Pikachu. They've got like the most basic, like, you know, PNG clip art they've used of these characters for a while, like particularly Kirby and Pikachu right there. Like, I think that Pikachu is from like the early 2000s for like the GBA, you know, Ruby and Sapphire era. And there's a Splatoon sticker in there as well, nothing too crazy. Hey, we've got patches. This is something that, you know, we would see, like Kirby Epic Yarn patches. I think that was a pretty freaking cool thing because, you know, there was patches. That's a cool thing because it's like a Yarn-esque game. Not exactly sure what else in there. I'm trying to shake this around to see what's in there besides Bowser. Oh, Peach. So that's, you know, kind of fitting there. And then you have, I think this is like a really like flimsy notepad. Like, or like a sticky note or something. But like, why would you use this? Like, I was thinking to myself how hard it would be to use this, but because of the border. But like, this is even worse, especially since there's like barely any. It was like free, you know. Nintendo is really cheaping out on things, especially with the cancer and reproductive harm. So make sure you wash your hands after you use this stuff, folks. Definitely fair warning there. And really quick, the last thing before we get to the end of the outro of the video is I don't think I showed the Scarlet and Violet notebook. I've thought about using this for a while because I've wanted a dream journal. I just think this is kind of neat. I think this is still available on the website too, so if I used it, you can get a duplicate. You can't just order multiple of these things. You have to order them in separate batches from what I understand. So yeah, there's that. And then I got this ornament, and you can kind of see there's some damage when I got this in shipping, unfortunately, and that's an actual like crack in the plastic. So talking about cheapness again, there's that. And this is honestly like nothing crazy. Like, it's sure it's a neat design, but it's like, you can tell it's cheap. I do like all the Mario enemies in there, you know, Spike Hammer Bro, Buzzy Beetle, Chain Chomp. Surprisingly no Bowser Jr., so I guess it's like an allude to kind of the you know, first 3 Mario games almost. But you can really see that there. That's like an actual thing in the plastic, so it's like that stinks. But you know, there are some other holiday ornaments as well, so I think that's kind of a neat thing. So there really is certainly some unique items for my Nintendo. So yeah, I'm pretty satisfied to put this on my tree every year, and I literally had to dig this out of my freaking Christmas ornaments just to show this for the video. You know, with that being said, these are my Nintendo rewards. Let me know, like, if you ever got any cool My Nintendo rewards. I think it's a pretty cool platform. I think it's going to be going away eventually, like, just like physical in general. It's going to the wayside. Like, you know, we're seeing merchandise for stuff that you don't usually see. Like, you know, Earthbound and Nintendo Sports, stuff like that. Granted, that's not the coolest, but it's like, there's some really freaking neat things. And sure, there's like a lot of postcards and stickers and notebooks and like, you know, we got calendars, though. We got posters. Those are like a Nintendo rewards staple. So, you know, that's pretty freaking cool. But I do wonder if we're going to see any more rewards coming up. I kind of doubt it. Some more interesting things. With the Switch 2 out, I think Nintendo wants to prioritize money, as much as I hate to say that. That being said, let me know what some cool physical rewards you got down below for my Nintendo. Any rewards you wish you did get. I wish I got those freaking poster sets for Super Mario 3D All-Stars and the Metroid Dread ones, but you know what, whatever. With that being said, hope you all take care and have a great time zone. Bye-bye.